Let's go to page 713, and this is lesson 15-2. The objective of this lesson is to compute measures of dispersion and, together with the measures of central tendency, to describe and compare distribution using these statistics. So all this means is that basically you want to try to analyze the data and try to come up with some information about the data you're giving. Okay, so first let's go over some definitions. So in this paragraph, there are several terms. Okay, you have the first quartile and the third quartile. So what this means is that when you have a whole bunch of data, okay, so let's say you have all these numbers. Okay, I'm going to use so suppose you have all these numbers, okay, again, each dot represents a number, okay. So you have all these data, okay. So the first entry, this would be your lowest. This would be your lowest score or the number, okay. And this one would be the highest. Let's just call it score, okay. So with all these entries, okay. Again, just do it by random, okay. So the difference between them, this is called a range. Okay, so range is equal to the highest minus the lowest. So the highest minus lowest, that's the difference between them. That is called a range. Okay? And the middle number between the highest and the lowest, I'm just pick up a middle number. So this is the median. Median is your middle number. Okay, so median means okay. And then between the lowest and the median number, okay, somewhere right over here. Think about, you have something you divide into half. So median is like your half, and you divide into half again. This is like 1/4. Okay, so this is called the first quartile. Okay. So think of this as like 1/2 and this is 1/4. Okay, see that? And between the median, okay, between the median and the highest number, halfway between here, this is called the third quartile. So think of this as like a 3/4. Okay, think of this like a 3/4. Okay, so again, between the highest and the lowest, the middle between these two, okay, that is your median. And the middle between the lowest and the median is the first quartile. And the middle number between the median and the highest number is your third quartile. Okay, so that's those definitions. Okay, so let's go over the first example. Okay, the first example, you have the distribution of the test score. So you have the stem and the leaf, right? So you got 6, 4, 6, 6, right? And you got 7, you got 1, 3, 8, 8. And for the 8, you have 0, 5, 7, 9. And the 9, you got 2, 2, and 8. And the 10, it obviously is 100, so you got 3 of them, okay? Okay, so A, you're looking for the median. So the median is a middle number, so you start from the lowest and the highest, and you kind of work toward the middle. So this and this, this and this, this one and this, okay, this one and this, this one and this. So you kind of just match up. So this one and this one and this. So this is your middle number. Okay, so median equal to 85. Okay. Now part B, you're looking for the first quartile. Okay, so I'm going to use Q1 means first quartile. Okay, so first quartile, you have to it's a middle number between the lowest and the middle. So you have to include the middle. Okay? So start from the lowest and the middle, and again you work toward each other. And so this is it. Okay? So 73 is your first quartile. And then you part C, the third quartile. The third quartile is, again, from here. See, the third quartile is between the median and the highest score, right? So again, you have to include this number. So again, start from the median and the highest number, and you work toward each other. It's like walking toward each other, okay? And so this is it, okay? So the third quartile equal to 92, okay? And that's it. Okay. Now, next thing is, in example 2, they want you to use this information to draw something called box and whisker plot. So box and whisker plot. So how does this work is this, okay? So you have the number line, okay? And you have, so you're going from 60 to 100, right? So you go 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100, okay? So what you want to do is you plot these points, okay? The lowest score is 64. So 64 is about right over here. Okay, so that's your lowest score. Okay, so 64 is your lowest. So plot that. Right, that's your 64. And you plot your highest number is 100. So right over here. So that's your highest. So you plot the lowest from here, 64. So you plot over here. And the highest is 100. You plot right over here. Then you want to plot all these points. So median is 85. So 85 is right over here. So this is your median. Okay? And then you want to plot your first quartile, 73. So 73 is about right over here. Okay, that's your first quartile. Your third quartile is 92. So 92 is about right over here. So that's your Q3. Okay? So plot all these points. Then what you want to do, you want to make a box and you want to put a whisker. So when you put a box, right, you draw the box like this. So you draw the box from Q1 to Q3, and you put a box like this. So you got this important dot right over here. So that's your box, okay? And then this is your whisker. So you got two whiskers, one this side, one this side. So here's your box and your whisker, okay? So again, you plot the lowest over here. So lowest, and you plot the highest over here. Then you plot the median, the middle point, right? Then you plot your first quartile, third quartile. Then you draw the box for the first quartile, median, and the third quartile. Okay? So box came from the three middle points, and you got whisker on this side and this side. So that's your box and whiskers. Okay? And so that's what this is. Okay, now let's go to example 3 to learn how to analyze the data. So on example 3, here it says 2 classes took the same algebra test. The results are shown in the box and whisker plot over here. So again, that's your lowest, that's your highest, that's your median, that's your first quartile, third quartile. So your class 1, class 2. Okay? So you ask, which class has a higher median? Well, over here, the class 1 median is over here. Class 2 median is over here. So the class 1 has higher median. Okay, so over here, see? So class 1, the median, so class 1 is the answer. Because the median of the class 1 is 90. The median for class 2 is 85. Okay? So therefore, the class 1 has a higher median. Okay, let's go to part B. Which class has a smaller range? Okay, the range is, remember range? Remember the definition of the range? Okay? So the range is the spread. Okay? It's between the highest and the lowest. So this whole thing, that is your range. Okay? So in this case, the range are the same because both have the same range. Okay? So B, both classes have the same range. Okay, so the range would be 100 minus 55 will give you 45. So both classes have range of 45. Okay, now let's go to C. For which class are the score in the middle half closer together? So middle half is your box, right? So again, this is the top fourth, the second fourth, third fourth, and the lowest fourth. So the middle half is the box. So over here, the class 2 are close together. Okay, so again, so you can do the explanation. Okay, so again, the class 1, for the class 1, the middle half are close together. The class 2 is a little bit more spread out. Okay, so D, which class has a better set of scores? Okay, so the better set of score usually is you look at the box. Okay, the box is more that way means the score is higher. So therefore, class 1 has a better score. Okay, so that's how you analyze data. Okay, the next thing is if you look on the bottom here, the next two terms is the variance and standard deviation. So we're going to learn how to find these two. Okay, so we're going to use this set of data right over here. Okay, and again, it gives you all these equations, and so instead of just try to memorize the equation, I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so we're going to use this set of data, and the way you're going to do this is that you're going to write out your numbers. Okay, you're going to make a table. So I'm going to use the line over here. Okay, so this is the number that you're going to enter. So you got 94, 89, 86, 82, 75. So you want to write in order. Doesn't matter from lowest to highest or highest to lowest, but you want to do it in order. It will help you to get things organized. Okay. Okay. So after you do that, then what you want to do is, so this is the first column. Okay. So you want to find the sum of that. So you're going to add all these numbers together. So you get 94 plus 89 plus 86 plus 82 plus 75 plus 72 plus 71 plus 63 equal. So the sum equal to 632. So again, make sure you show all your work. So that way people can follow what you're doing. Okay. So add all these numbers together, you get the sum, and then you're going to get the average. Average is the mean. So M is the mean, is the average. So you have to use this divide by 8. So there are 8 numbers. So you have to divide by 8 to find the average. So average would be 79. Okay. Now while you're over here, what you want to do, you want to find the range. Even it does not ask you for it, but it's just going to do it anyway. So the range is the difference between the highest and the lowest. So you just use 94 minus 63 equals 31. Okay. So again, from the first column, you want to find the sum and you divide to find the average. The mean is the average. The next thing what you need to do is you need to find the D, so deviation. Deviation is how much is different from the median. Okay, from the mean. I'm sorry, it's from the mean. Okay, so here's your average, the mean. So you want to find out the difference between them. So use this as your reference. So use this. So use each of this number minus this. Okay. Okay. So you go 94 minus 79. This one will equal to 15. So you want to write down plus 15 because this number is above this one. Okay. So it's plus 15. This one is plus 10 because 89 is 10 above 79. Okay. And this one is plus 7. And this one is plus 3. And this one is minus 4 because this is 4 below these. Okay. And this one is minus 7. And this one is minus 8 because this is 8 below these. And this one is negative 16 because this is 16 below these. Okay. The next thing what you want to do is the next column you want to do the D square. Okay. So you want to square each of this number. Okay, so get your calculator. So 15 square, you get 225. And then 10 square is 100. 7 square is 49. 3 square is 9. 4 squared is 16. Right? Negative, when you square the negative, it becomes positive, right? And this would be 49 and 64, okay, and 16 squared would be 256, okay? So next thing you have to do is you have to add all this together. So you're going to do the same for these two columns, okay? So you can, so find the sum equal, so you add all this together. So 225 plus 100 plus 49 plus 9 plus 16 plus 49 plus 64 plus 256 equal, so you're going to get 768. Okay, then after, so this is the sum. So just like over here, you add, you have to find an average, right? So you're going to do the same. You're going to add, and you're going to find an average. And this average of the d squared is called the V, the variance. Okay, so V is your variance. Okay, so over here, when you average, it's called the mean, which is 79. Over here, when you add and you average, it's called the variance. Okay, so you have to use 768 divided by 8, and this will give you 96. Okay, so again, this is your variance. Okay, so that's the V. And then after that, you want to find the standard deviation. Standard deviation looks like a 9 turned sideways. Okay, looks like a simple. This is the Greek letter delta, stands for the deviation, standard deviation. So standard deviation, this is equal to the square root of V. So you just take the square root of that. So 96, you take the square root of that, and this will give you 9.79, okay, or 9.8. Okay, and so that's it. So this is your variance, and this is your standard deviation. Okay, so you just take the square root of that. So these are important information. This four: the mean, the range, the variance, and standard deviation. Okay, so this kind of tell you, how the data are spread out. Okay, if the number is higher, that means that the data are spread out a lot. If this number is small, means the data is all bunched up. Okay, which is good. So normally you want to have a low number if it means the data are good data. Okay. So these are so this kind of to measure how much the data are distributed or dispersed. Okay. Okay. So let's go over one more example. Let's go to example 5. Okay, so I'm going to just write down all these numbers. Okay, so example 5. So the first number is 175, then 178, then 180. Right? I'm just write down the numbers from the stem and leaf plot because this is easier to do what we're doing over here, right? Okay. So 180, 180, 181, 184, 184, 184. So there are 3 of them. Then 185, 185, and 188. Then 192. Okay. So now let's go and find the sum. So let's get all these numbers, add this all together. So 175 plus 178 plus 180 plus 180 plus 181 plus 184 times 3, right, there are 3 of them, plus 185 times 2 plus 188 plus 192 equal, so this will give you 2196. Okay, and then your mean, the average, so you have to divide this number divided by 12 because there are 12 numbers over here. So the mean would be 183. Okay. Now the problem does not ask you for it, so I'm going to do the range anyway. Okay, always a good idea to just do it. So the range is the difference between that. So you go 192 minus 175 equal 17. Okay, so range is equal to 17. Okay, so after I find this over here, now I need to find the deviation, the D. Okay? Okay, so D is the difference between the mean and this number over here. Okay, so you just use each of this number minus the mean. So you go 175 minus 183. Okay, and this would be minus 8. And this one would be minus 5, minus 3, minus 3, minus 2, and this is plus 1, plus 1. Plus 1 means 1 above. Okay, and this one is plus 2, this is plus 5, and plus 9. Okay, so you can just use each one of these minus your mean or the average. Then after that, you have to square these. Okay, so 64, and again, negative when you square become positive, right? So D squared is always positive. Okay, then after that, you need to find the sum of these. So that's going to add all this together. So you got 64 plus 25 plus 9 plus 9 plus 4 plus 3, right? 1, 2, 3. So plus 3 plus 8 plus 25 plus 81 equal. So you get 228. Okay? Okay. So let's go and find the average. So the variance equal to, so you have to use 228 divided by 12. There are 12 numbers. So 228 divided by 12 equal 19. So variance equal to 19. And the standard deviation equal to square root of that. Take the square root. So it'd be 4.358. So about, you can run to one decimal, so it'd be 4.4. Okay? And so that's it. So that's the mean, the range, variance, and standard deviation.